The fourth lesson of The Rich is called Know How Taxes Work. Again, most of my clients despise taxes unless they're accountants. So it is not a fun topic to go through. However, anyone who's an entrepreneur understands the power of tax deferral, understands the power of investing through your corporation and through a holding company. The key of being able to defer that taxation and paying less taxes in a company, having more money to invest in income producing assets versus paying yourself that salary at a high or higher tax rate or marginal tax rate, having less purchasing power. The difference between the two is astronomical over time. So if you don't know how taxes work, get a good accountant and have him or her explain to you how taxes work and how you can better prepare yourself to use taxes in your favor. There's a key point that I want to mention that's mentioned in the book and I think is really, really important. Whenever there's a political campaign in the US or in Canada and we see the left and the right talk about income taxes and rising income taxes, lowering income taxes, the middle class, the wealthy, and you hear parties talk about we're going to tax the rich. The sad truth is that the rich will never be the most taxed. Why? Because they understand how taxes work. And also, they lobby governments to create tax incentives and tax loopholes so that they will pay less taxes or defer their taxes in the future. Okay? So it is important to understand that the rich in a Western society, in Western civilization, will never be the most taxed. The population that will be the most taxed is always and will always be the middle class, because the middle class creates the tax basin for governments and government spending. It will not be the rich simply due to the lobbying power of the wealthy. So if we understand that, we then need to move on to the next point, which is salaried individuals can never defer taxation. So as I mentioned before, through a corporation or holding company, every salary you earn or every income you earn from a job, you're taxed, or every paycheck you earn from a job, you're taxed. You're left with the net. You are not able to defer that money or defer that salary, pay less taxes, and invest thereafter. So you have less soldiers to invest. So that's a key part. So again, it ties into the lesson number 3, which is mind your business. And if you can start a side business or a side venture while you're at work, again, it's very hard to leave a job if you have expenses and if you have a family, of course. But if you can start a side business that grows over time, whether it be real estate, whether it be any type of service or product-driven company, you can eventually create that income, you can defer your taxation, and you can invest more of that money in income-producing assets. I think this summary here, this little quote, I think summarizes this lesson, which is we hear this expression when we come out of school, when we talk to our kids, when just in conversations with people who are salaried, which is I'm going to climb, or I will climb the corporate ladder, right? To have a higher salary, higher position. Again, more consumption doesn't necessarily get you out of the rat race, right? But the comment posed by the book says, why not own the ladder? So it's such a light bulb moment. What does it mean? It means that instead of exchanging my time for a paycheck, why don't I create my own ladder? Why don't I own my own ladder? Why don't I create my own business? Why don't I buy my own real estate that produces income? Why don't I create enough income that covers my cost of living, as I mentioned earlier, and I don't have to answer to anybody? The advantage of doing that is that we can then defer taxation. We can invest through companies. We can do so many more things that get you out of the rat race and never have to exchange your time for money. Once you own the ladder, whatever that ladder is, whatever that ladder generates for you, the idea is that you want that ladder or that business or that venture that you're into or doing to make money while you sleep. Okay, so those are forms of leverage that we use. Essentially, you make money while you sleep, while you're away. You don't have to exchange your time for that money, and that's the key lesson number 4.